The wrong park tickets and additional fees that feel like a flat-out scam, there are things you could pay for in Disney World that'll make you go, now this feels like a giant ripoff. So let's avoid those feelings and figure out what extra charges you need to steer clear of during your upcoming Disney World vacation. We're going to talk about today here on DFB Guide. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. Today we're getting into some really specific Disney World ripoffs that might take you off guard. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, not all of you may agree with these. In fact, a lot of these suggestions came from our readers and followers, so don't shoot the messenger on some of these. Some of you may go, hey, I actually really enjoyed paying for these extras during my last vacation, and that's fantastic. But we're going to talk about why each of these specific restaurants or add-ons or even park tickets could wind up being a big waste of time and money during your upcoming trip, including which ripoffs you might end up paying for without realizing what's happening. We're going to start out with a super controversial one, and I'm aware it's super controversial, but I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of behind this being a bit of a ripoff. At the end of July this year, a shiny new MagicBand model hit the Disney gift shop shelves called MagicBand Plus. And MagicBand Plus promised guests a more immersive way to engage with the parks. The MagicBand Plus does everything that the old version of the MagicBand does, along with using lights and sounds and haptic vibrations to interact with certain areas and shows around select lands, and sometimes even rides themselves. Super cool, right? Well, it can be. Some guests are thrilled that they can join a bounty hunter mission in Batuu or trigger music from the golden statues or see the colors of their band light up along with the nighttime spectaculars. But others aren't as impressed. For starters, a MagicBand Plus is going to be naturally more expensive, with prices ranging between $34.99 and $54.99 for this accessory, while standard bands are priced around $20 for a basic design. Unlike the regular MagicBands, a new MagicBand Plus needs to be charged. Now, it doesn't need to be charged to work like a regular MagicBand, because that's just an RFID situation. It doesn't need charging. It's got a battery and it'll live almost forever. But to do all those fancy features and to have it vibrate and light up and stuff, then you do need to charge it each night before you use it in the parks, or else you won't be able to use those features you paid extra for. Now, when I first used a MagicBand Plus recently on a trip, it just kept buzzing for some reason, and I never really knew what it wanted. Was there an interactive point I was missing out on? Was it dying? Was it just trying to get my attention because it was feeling lonely? I literally don't know. So that kind of became more of a nuisance added to my day rather than being a super useful or interactive experience for me. I just ended up sort of taking it off because I couldn't get the statues to say anything, and I just looked like a dum-dum waving my arm around and nothing was happening. Now, if you're still interested in owning a MagicBand Plus for your next Disney World trip, then you can save money on select styles by purchasing one before your trip instead of during, as long as you already have a Disney World resort reservation locked in place. To purchase one or multiple of these discounted bands, sign into your Disney account online, make sure your resort reservation is linked up, and then select My MagicBands and Cards link, which will direct you to these extra savings. Next ripoff you're going to want to know about: Disney restaurants that are a whole lot like the ones you have at home. When you drop a whole lot of money on a Disney World table service meal, you don't want to walk away thinking, that tasted a lot like that one restaurant that's just around the corner from my house. You want something a little different, or at the very least you want an immersive dining room setting that's going to be one of a kind. Disney World is really, really good at bringing interesting atmosphere and storytelling features to your dining experiences. And at many restaurants, they're good at providing top-notch meals that'll really stand out from your usual fare. But not every restaurant on Disney property is going to be memorable. Take Tepinetto in Epcot, for instance. Tepinetto, very tasty. I absolutely love the food at this place. It's extremely fresh. They make it right in front of you. It's teppanyaki. And there are highly experienced hibachi chefs that give you a show while you wait for your entrees and sides to finish sizzling on that grill. But if you have any kind of hibachi-like restaurant in your neck of the woods, like Benihana or etc., the food and setting here isn't all that different from what you'll receive back home, aside from it being in Epcot's Japan Pavilion instead of the Outer Banks of your local mall, and also it'll be a lot more expensive. So spending a bunch of money and a bunch of time out of your Epcot day to go to a place you could basically go at home, not necessarily the best use of your cash. Paradiso 37 in Disney Springs has great happy hour deals for sure. You can order $5 house margaritas, Coors Light, and Tecate daily, as long as you're sitting at the bar. And granted, I really do enjoy the appetizers here, like the South American Crazy Corn is to die for, and the P37 queso. But the vibes at Paradiso feel a lot like any other touristy chain location, like a Margaritaville or a Bahama Breeze. And the food isn't all that unique once you get to the entrees and desserts. You'll still be paying top dollar to experience it though. And when you go to Tony's Town Square in Magic Kingdom, you'll definitely get a break away from the park crowds for a bit in a cute Lady and the Tramp themed setting, but the food you're gonna get here is definitely subpar Olive Garden level, minus the unlimited soup, salad, and breadsticks. So what restaurants should you invest in for a more memorable experience? If you're wanting an immersive setting, try getting reservations for Sci-Fi Dine-In at Disney's Hollywood Studios. The food may taste like familiar diner grub, but the drive-in setting is wicked cool, and you'll be able to watch cheesy black and white sci-fi clips on a giant screen in a dimly lit setting, and you'll also be dining in your own convertible car, so that's pretty cool. Space 220 at Epcot also provides an over-the-moon immersive atmosphere that starts with you taking a Stellarator straight to the Centauri space station, giving you a chance to dine among the stars. If you're wanting really good and unique food, Raglan Road in Disney Springs isn't your average Irish pub. It's an authentic one, featuring classic Irish dishes with contemporary twists. The guys that own and run this place are from Ireland, and they actually imported the bar itself from Ireland. Also, Yak and Yeti at Disney's Animal Kingdom really doesn't get enough props, I don't think. It's an underrated gem with a menu full of flavorful fusion of Asian cuisine. The Nepalese-style setting is gorgeous too, but the food is really good. I don't know how it's really good, because the same company runs Yak and Yeti and Rainforest Cafe and T-Rex, and that food isn't good, so why is Yak and Yeti good? I don't know, it's a mystery. And if you're wanting an immersive setting and unique entrees, Sanaa at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge has a menu full of classic African cuisine and dining room views that let you look out at the resort's personal savannah and all the animals. Storybook dining at Artist Point with Snow White over at Disney's Wilderness Lodge is a mouthful to say, but it's a top-notch experience. Not only are you dining in an enchanted forest and meeting classic characters from Disney's first ever animated film, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, but you're also able to dine on food just as unique as its name, including options like the Magic Mirror's slow braised pork shank, the tequila and brandy based Evil to the Core cocktail, and the Hunter's Gift to the Queen, which features an array of beautiful truffles and a smoking box originally designed for princess hearts. Not creepy at all. Looking for more recommendations? Now's the perfect time to pre-order our 2023 DFB Guide to Walt Disney World Dining. That's got a detailed look into every single restaurant on Disney World property. So if you pre-order your 2023 copy today, you're also going to get our 2022 digital guide for immediate download. Absolutely free. All right, don't want to pay a premium price for an otherwise affordable activity? Yeah, me neither. So let's nip that in the bud. You want to go play a game of mini golf at Disney World? Awesome. Then go play some mini golf. That's not the ripoff I want to talk about here. The ripoff is when you pay for a Park Hopper Plus solely for the mini golf add-on. Now, whether you decide to golf with your travel group over at Fantasia Gardens or Winter Summerland, a round is going to cost you $14 per adult and $12 per kid. Pretty inexpensive recreational activity for Disney World. It's fun and it kills time in the afternoon. Now, the Park Hopper Plus add-on for your ticket is $85 extra per park ticket. If you bought a regular Park Hopper for $65 extra per ticket, then paid separately for mini golf once you arrived at the course, you'd still be paying less than you would if you purchased a Park Hopper Plus for the exact same thing. So if you do purchase a Park Hopper Plus ticket, make sure it's not for mini golf, but instead to go to a water park or something like that. All right, so it looks like Disney World is changing its prices again. By December 8th, two major single-day ticket changes will be happening. First, the Park Hopper add-ons will be switching to a date-based pricing system. And second, one-day, one-park tickets will move to park-based pricing, meaning instead of paying the same price for Magic Kingdom that you would for Animal Kingdom, Magic Kingdom will end up costing you more to visit. So how are you going to prevent paying the highest prices for your park tickets in 2023? Well, first off, keep in mind that this change is solely for those one-day tickets. So if you plan on using more than one day's worth of park tickets, if you buy a multi-day ticket, this change won't impact your plans. Regardless, date-based surge prices impact everyone. And if you potentially want the cheapest range of prices for the month, for park tickets, park hoppers, hotels, Genie Plus, it's best to look into booking your vacation on weekdays instead of weekends. Since weekends are typically going to be busier at Disney World year-round because they're more convenient for locals and out-of-towners alike, then demand will spike. And when demand spikes, prices climb upwards too, and those surge prices go up. So you've got a better chance of finding better deals Mondays to Thursdays, regardless of whether you're traveling during peak or non-peak seasons. Now, saving money is something that's never going to go out of style, and that's true for this next point too. Disney World sweatshirts, hoodies, and Spirit jerseys are super cute. They're really cute, and that includes those holiday ones when you're looking to get in the festive spirit. But those sweaters, depending on the style, can get up there price-wise. A Mickey holiday shirt's going to put you back $54.99. Holiday Spirit jersey is going to cost near $100. Even a kid's holiday Spirit jersey is around $80. But if you're looking for holiday attire that's cute, cozy, Disney-themed, and way more affordable, well, this is where my shameless plug for the DFB store merch is going to be not so shameless after all. We got really nice Christmassy designs for sweatshirts and hoodies galore with prices that aren't going to try to compete with Disney's. So if you're looking for a not-so-ugly Christmas sweater of Cinderella Castle, or a sweater with a bunch of gingerbread cookies shaped like your favorite Disney ride vehicles, I love this one, check out merch.dfbstore.com, and you can get that new outfit sent to you in time for your Disney World holiday vacation, or just Christmas in general. You don't have to be going to Disney to sport a Disney-fied Christmas sweater after all. You can wear it loud and proud while you're opening gifts around the tree or drinking copious amounts of hot cocoa, because that's definitely what I do. All right, we've reached the part of the video where this could be a touchy subject for some. We're going to talk about Disney Vacation Club, but hold on, DVC members, don't come at me yet. You'll probably agree with what we've got to say. But first, let me describe what DVC is in a nutshell. The Disney Vacation Club is Disney's version of a timeshare program that gives you a certain amount of vacation points each year that you can put toward your future Disney World resort stays. We got a whole video that goes way more in depth on that, but all you need to know right now is that DVC isn't just a one-and-done ordeal. It's a commitment that you'll be expected to pay for just like you would a house payment. Now, DVC owners, as of late, are starting to feel rather put off when it comes to some of the changes Disney has made regarding the program. For instance, before the historic 2020 closures, DVC members were able to borrow as many points as they wanted out of their next vacation year's worth of vacation points to put toward a bigger resort stay in the current year. For a while after the historic 2020 closures, DVC members were only allowed to borrow up to 50% of points, which could still put certain members short of their dream Disney World vacation villa. Disney did return this benefit back to normal in July 2022, but the membership concerns didn't fully stop there. And as Disney continues to push for new DVC members to join the club, the DVC members who've already paid their dues and are in for the long haul are starting to feel pushed to the back burner. Though Disney pitches the idea of DVC members having plenty of vacation flexibility, some members are finding that booking trips on short notice still leaves them with slim hotel pickings, even for their home resorts. Currently, there's a class action lawsuit against DVC as a response to DVC members feeling that they're being treated unfairly and not being given what they were initially promised, quote unquote. According to those involved in the lawsuits, members are given many perks at first when they sign up for DVC, and those perks are taken away slowly until it seems that Disney's not meeting the contract originally sold to its members. Investing in DVC isn't something to just decide on a whim. It takes a lot of research to figure out whether it's going to end up being worth your time and money. In the meantime, you can always purchase DVC rental points through a reliable third-party site, We Like David's DVC Rentals, for Disney Vacation Club benefits without a long-haul commitment. It's basically a way to try it out and see what you think. These rental sites act as a middleman between Disney Vacation Club members who want to rent out points that they don't think they'll get around to using before they expire, and the non-DVC members who want to stay in those Disney Vacation Club big rooms at a way better rate than they'll get if they book directly through Disney. There are pros and cons when going about these DVC rentals, but you can learn more about them on our YouTube video that talks in depth about how you can potentially save hundreds on your next resort stay. Okay, time to talk about a park pass reservation cheat. Not really a cheat, it's just something to keep in mind. This next point isn't necessarily a ripoff, but it's something you do need to know if you want to get your money's worth when you're staying at a Disney World resort. When you're about to make park pass reservations, there are two different buttons you could potentially choose to proceed with the reservation process. One allows you to book park passes with your hotel reservation. The other allows you to book park passes with your theme park tickets. Check each of those availability calendars to make sure you're choosing the button that will give you the most potential availability for the parks during your trip. It could make a huge difference depending on how busy those parks are. Now, this next point goes against my tried and true plan ahead mentality, but in a way you may not be expecting. Let's talk about water park tickets. Sometimes Disney World can be super rainy or super cold, and that can still be a great day in Disney World unless you were planning on hitting up a water park like Blizzard Beach or Typhoon Lagoon. Then the cloudy, dreary, or cold skies start looking very glum. Since Orlando weather tends to change on a whim, this is one of those rare instances where I'm going to say buying a Disney park ticket super far in advance isn't the best idea. When you get into Orlando and notice that the forecast is going to keep looking real great while you're there, you can always add on a Disney water park ticket at the last minute. The price isn't going to change, and it's probably not going to sell out. Unlike the regular Disney theme parks, water parks don't require a park pass reservation, so you don't have to worry about booking those before your trip. You can choose to purchase a water park ticket with no blockout date or with limited blockout dates for just a few dollars less. So yeah, pick the one with no blockout dates if you want more scheduling freedom. And if you do purchase a water park ticket ahead of time and can't find any good days to use it during your time in Orlando, you don't have to force yourself to go anyways and freeze the entire time. No matter when you purchase your water park ticket, those won't expire until the end of the following year. So if I purchased a water park ticket at any time during 2022, which I did, by the way, I'd still be able to use my ticket until December 31st, 2023. And I wasn't able to use it on any of the trips I've taken, so I'm going to wait till 2023 apparently. So if you plan on making a return trip to Disney World, save the water park ticket for a non-rainy day. Otherwise, hold off on those advanced purchases until you get a better idea for what the Florida forecast is going to have in store. Could save you a bunch of money if you're not going back to Disney World and can't use a random ticket that you already purchased. Now, what other park ticket add-ons could be a major waste of money if you're not careful? Well, you knew we'd talk about Genie Plus, right? Of course you did. Now, there's a right time to purchase Disney Genie Plus for your park visit, so you can get access to those queue bypassing services through the lightning lanes. There's also a wrong time, like a very wrong time. The right time is before 7 a.m. the day of your park visit. You can't purchase Genie Plus weeks in advance, so you'll only be able to add it onto your ticket starting at midnight each day that you have a park pass reservation for. You can make that purchase right away at midnight, but even if you wanted to purchase it at 6 a.m., you'll still have time to do so before the first batch of 7 a.m. lightning lane reservations go live. And yes, Genie Plus can sell out, but I don't think it ever has. And this is crucial because the earlier you can start booking lightning lane reservations, the more you'll be able to use this premium feature throughout the day and the less of a ripoff it's going to be for you. You'll even be able to stack reservations by using the 120-minute rule. This rule has been put in place for guests just in case they schedule a lightning lane for a ride with a return time that's hours later in the day. That happens on the super popular rides. That way, even if you haven't had a chance to use that last lightning lane you're holding, you'll only have to wait for 2 hours to pass before you can go ahead and make another one. So, for example, if you really want to lock in riding Peter Pan's flight, and by the time you get around to making your Genie Plus reservations, the next Peter Pan's flight lightning lane is at 8 p.m. Go ahead and make it, and then wait 2 hours and you can book another lightning lane for earlier. When you start booking lightning lanes earlier in the day, you'll also have all the different Genie Plus rides at your disposal, meaning you'll have a better chance at getting a good lightning lane time for your priority rides. So if you start booking earlier, then maybe Peter Pan's flight, you don't have to wait till 8 p.m. and you can get on at 9 a.m. Now, the wrong time of day to purchase Genie Plus, however, I can tell you from experience multiple times, is when you're late to the game. I'm not talking an hour late. I'm talking really late to the game, like mid to late afternoon, when you start to notice that the crowds have really picked up and you're getting tired of having to navigate around them for every single ride you want to go on. If you wait to purchase Disney Genie Plus too late in the day, you'll wind up paying the same price, between $15 and $22 per person, for fewer lightning lanes. You'll also have less of an opportunity to use that 120-minute rule. Not to mention, some of the more popular Genie Plus attractions will definitely sell out. Genie Plus doesn't sell out, but those lightning lanes sure do. So what's the big lesson here that you can learn from me, AJ, who does this all the time, even though I know better? Buying Genie Plus earlier rather than later will save you from having to deal with a big, costly ripoff. All right, ready for something you never thought would pop up on this list? I don't know if you are, but here we go. We're going to talk about Epcot festivals. Okay, not us coming to attack the Epcot festival booths. Now, don't we love the outdoor kitchens throughout each of the festivals? Absolutely. And don't we also love that we're able to snack around the World Showcase on items that usually cost less than what you're going to find at Disney's fast food restaurants? Yes, but that doesn't mean every option on these festival menus is foolproof, let alone reasonable. Now, this is something I don't ever talk about in these videos. When I talk about the festivals, I tell you what to get, not what to not get. So take a walk down memory lane with us. When Festival of the Arts kicked off in January, we were thrilled to see colorful cuisines grace the showcase once again. We were not, however, thrilled with the frozen rusty nail cocktail from Gourmet Landscapes. And maybe that's our bad for ordering a drink called the frozen rusty nail, but we always try everything. It's our job, so we consider this an occupational hazard. The cocktail is made with bourbon, tea, and topped with a chocolate nail, but we thought it tasted like cough syrup, not to mention it was served in a squatty bourbon glass for $15. The gnocchi poutine at Refreshment Port also made our hearts sad because we love both gnocchi and poutine, but this dish just wasn't it. Not only was it just a really dry dish, but the other textures thrown in there, like the cheese curds and burrata, believe it or not, made the whole thing really unappealing. It just didn't work, and that happens sometimes, even if all the ingredients look like they should. And this was one of the hefty festival price tags too, at $9. Next came Flower and Garden Festival, where there were so many fresh tasting items we got to try. But once again, Refreshment Port did us dirty and served up the salted caramel apple hard cider that sounded interesting. It tasted like a liquid salad. No kidding. And for $10.75, that's a really pricey liquid salad. The strawberry cheesecake funnel cake over at the funnel cake stand looked gorgeous, but that artificial strawberry flavor was not doing it for us in the slightest. For $10.50, we wish we would have just gotten a normal funnel cake instead. So you get it. I'm not trying to make this into a roast session for the festivals. We love the festivals. I'm just saying that even though our Best of the Fest YouTube videos tend to showcase highlights, not every food and drink we try hits it out of the park. And even some of the foods and drinks that are really good still don't feel worthy of the money we're spending on them at times. A good example, almost everything you get from the Italy booth. Portions are usually tasty, but they're tiny and pricey. And in some cases, you can find the same offerings for cheaper. Like the bombolinis, for instance, that you order from the Primavera Kitchen during the Flower and Garden Festival. You get 3 little bombolinis, which are cream-filled Italian donuts with raspberry sauce and powdered sugar, for $12. But you can get bigger ones over at Vivoli El Gelato in Disney Springs for $5.80. Or you can get mini ones for only $2.25 each over there. All this to say, studying up on festival offerings can be more essential than you originally thought. Don't forget that we do sell festival-specific digital guides year-round on the DFB store website if you want a more detailed look with full color pictures of all the different offerings available during each new festival. Don't forget to type in code YouTube for a discount if you do buy one. But we also post all of our reviews online. For every single festival, we have a page on our blog that links to every single review of every single food item, and you can see what all the pictures look like, see all the prices, and see our full review of each booth. And that'll help you figure out where to spend the money and what could potentially be a ripoff for you. Now I'm going to tell you about a ripoff I've talked about in the past, but I'm also going to give you examples for how much of a money suck this extra cost can actually wind up being. Here I go, throwing shade at Memory Maker again. In case you aren't familiar with Memory Maker, this is basically a $169 to $199 extra purchase that allows you to keep every single PhotoPass picture you take around the parks. Innocent enough, right? But I'm going to go off personal experience here just for a second. I never want all of my Memory Maker photos, ever. I don't want the photo of me and my family looking spaced out as we ride Pirates of the Caribbean with a bunch of strangers. I don't want the magic shot where my husband missed the memo and isn't even looking the same direction that Tinkerbell should be. And I especially don't want the end of the night sweat-tastic and tired-eyed photo in front of Cinderella Castle. Sorry, those just aren't ever going to make it onto my refrigerator. Usually I end up liking 2 or 3 of my PhotoPass pictures, and if that's the case, I just buy them individually for $18.95. Pricey for a photo? Yes. But paying $38 to $57 seems a lot more reasonable than $169 for all the extra photos that I couldn't care less whether I own or not. And let's play the price comparison game. Maybe this will drive it home. For that same $169 to $199 price range that you'll pay for all those Memory Maker pictures, you could have instead paid for A, 3 days worth of Genie plus add-ons for a family of 4, B, a private back-to-back photo session with the Capture Your Moment package, C, fairy tale fireworks dessert cruise for you and your spouse, or D, literally a whole other theme park ticket during Disney's peak season. You get the idea. There are a lot of other things you can put your money toward rather than a lot of pictures of you half blinking or getting blocked by guests throwing their hands up in the air during Tower of Terror. It's all about opportunity cost, my friends. opportunity costs. Now, don't forget, you can always ask PhotoPass cast members to take a group picture of you and the fam with your own phone. And the cost for that? Absolutely nothing. One last note, remember that each group is different. Each family is different. If you want all of your Memory Maker photos, get them. If you want a MagicBand Plus, buy the MagicBand Plus. Just because these costs can be a ripoff for some of us doesn't mean they're a ripoff for everyone. So do your research, discuss with your family, figure out what you're going to need to save before your trip to pay for the experiences and extras that you want to experience the most. As always, keep checking back with us for even more Disney World tips, tricks, and updates. We're still in the parks, we're still making mistakes so that you don't have to. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.